Hello YouTube, what's up? Asian Tricky here with another episode of Paladin Galore. I'm pretty much going to be talking to you today about this guy, Knight of Fury Agravain. He's another Mega Blast card. He's on par with Riot General, except that Riot General adds like the skills to your rear guards. This guy is more focused on himself. He's, well, Knight of Fury. Anyways, he's one of those that just soul blasts, soul charges, and he gets an extra 2k to himself. So with a Knight of Gareth behind him, he goes 20k, which is pretty good. And then when you actually get his soul blast off, considering you're able to do it, he gets that Alfred skill minus the whole can't be boosted part. So you're able to boost him and attack for 25, which is pretty good, because now it's like an Azel minus Azel's limit break, and he also has 2 counterblasts. I know, not 2 counterblasts. He also has 2 crits, which is pretty good. So now that I've praised him enough, the bad part is, if you want to run this guy, you're pretty much going to have to build a whole deck around him. And especially now that a lot of your units are going to use counterblast, you're going to have to use units that doesn't use counterblast and play very defensive just to stall out for his skill. Also, you're going to have to use other cards that would require you to soul charge, which in this case would only be really like 4. And those 4 would be the 4 crits you're using. Well, the 4 crits you should be using. Knight of Victory, or Flame of Victory. Agravain also soul charges, but again, it's still not fast enough. That's why you'd have to stall in place, well, like you're stalling, so you can get his skill off. Also, after you get his skill off, you can only use it once. However, he will have the 2 crit, and you'll be swinging for 2 crits and 20k each turn. Late game, that's not going to do much, because compared to Azel, he's not going to be able to swing as high for that big game push to deplete your opponent's hand. So, if you build an Agravain deck, it's pretty much going to be more of a defensive and stalling out deck until I outlive you and beat the crap out of you. That's what the Agravain deck would pretty much be like. While the Azel deck that you build is going to be like, I'm going to overwhelm you and beat the crap out of you easily. Which is pretty good. Which I say is the best option is Azel. But again, if you work hard enough, you can get this guy you can get this deck to a pretty good deck. There are also more cards coming out that you can use to help soul charge for this deck, which is really good. So that's this episode of Paladin Galore with Knight of Fury Agravain. Peace, YouTube.